1, 2, 1, 2. Hey guys, halfmango here, resident lore nerd and DFO enjoyer, and it's March 28th, 2023, a Monday. Hope you guys are having a fine first day of the week, or if you guys live in Arad like me, then a fine last day of the week, if you know what I mean. Okay, jokes aside, I hope you guys are having a fine Monday today. Or if you're on the Asian side of the world, then it's early Tuesday, including Germany. It's just past midnight over here. And anyhow, I have returned with the usual DFO shenanigans. Not much to do today, it's Monday, and as I mentioned just now, Monday is the last day of DFO work week. I'm also kind of running low on sleep, so do excuse me if I am even less low energy than I am usually. It's probably not gonna be a very long stream today. As I said, there's not much to do in this game right now. I'll probably stream for about a couple hours. There will be of course, as usual, a DFO story. DFO story time? DFO's halfmango story time. There we go. Later down the stream. What else updates do I have? Yes, I just changed my mic settings on OBS, so I might sound slightly different. Hopefully in a good way, not in a bad way. If anyone thinks there's something off with the sound, then please do feel free to shout it out and tell me, so I can at least attempt to fix it by the next stream, excuse me. Or the operative word being the attempt, because I am just a gremlin who knows nothing about sound and OBS. Man. Parish. Ooh, thank you. Let's see. Poopy. Nice. I don't know if you guys remember. I think most people do. Ah, you cheeky scorpion machine. But back in the days when... Oh, one second, excuse me. Oh, I had to sneeze. Oh man, that's the worst sneeze. What's up, kitty? Oh man, I am dying. Ugh. Bloody sneeze. You know that feeling when you sneeze? You have to sneeze a couple times in a row, but then the last sneeze in that sequence is not the most satisfying, so despite having sneezed multiple times, you actually don't feel like you've sneezed and it just feels horrible. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. That just happened, and it's absolutely repulsive, disgusting even. It's kind of like that feeling when you want to sneeze but the sneeze won't come out. I bloody despise it. Come here. Ow, rude. What am I doing? There we go. Ooh, Rift. Hello. Oh great, it's defeat all monsters. I dislike this thing because it just takes 10,000 years to get through all these mobs. But oh well. Glowing life. Nice. It's like when you poop and wipe and feel like you didn't wipe properly, so you wipe again, but and wipe. I mean, that's certainly one way to put it. Not false. Not false. But yeah, hope you excuse me, hope you're having a fine Monday today. The first day of the work week / the last day of the DFO work week. Let's see here. Oh, I have a decent amount of money. I had to suffer through the workday. My eternal condolences. One perk of being a student, there is no such thing as a workday. Every day is a workday. But it's okay, I get to hear Mango's voice. What the? I mean, I'm glad if people enjoy my weird ass voice. The voice of a slice of fruit. Got to use these. Wait, this is Slayer. Why am I here? Get me out of here. Just more suffering ahead for you. Thank you. I appreciate my agony. There we go. That's more like it. In case anyone's wondering why I backed out and came back in, it's because I am a lazy bastard who refuses to learn Slayer on anyone except my nan and... What's her name? Xavier. Hello, Takakero. Good to see you again. Hope you're having a fine Monday today. Parish Child. Nice. Hello, Slark1108. New player here. What's the end game of this game looks like? So, do I have a spare character that I can run these spins with? Hold on. It looks like pain and suffering. Silence, kitty. I'm trying to sell this game. Hold on. I would love to show you. I guess I do have a spare character. Okay. So the real end game of DFO right now are called the Legion Dungeons and Raids. And Legion Dungeon at the moment there's only one, which is called Ispins. You can enter it at 33k fame. And Raid, right now there is there are several raids, but most of them are from previous level caps, so they are not very challenging, let's say. But there's the upcoming Bakal raid, which is coming next update. And so raids and Legion dungeons involve very powerful boss monsters that you have to, well, unless you're very powerful, beat down for more than a trivial amount of time. And if you want, I can show you how the Ispins works in a sec with one of my alts. Thank you for the follow, Zenity Hit. Hope you have a good time and stream. Hold on, what did you say? What did you guys say? I would love to go slap my Total War video on the chat, but I'm not going to do that for obvious reasons. I mean, you could if you want. I don't mind. So long as you don't spam links all over the place in my chat, I don't mind I don't mind that. Sure, it's fine. Even better now. Hope you're good too. Yes, I am having a fine Monday today. A little short on sleep, but other than that, I'm doing okay. But yeah, going into a little bit more details on Ispins. No thanks, I am generally curious about the end game. I heard people say it's grindy and pay to grind. What? P to G, like pay to grind? Okay, grindy, yes. Pay to win. Depends on your definition of pay to win. If you are pay to win, I guess, if you'd say, if you have to spend money to get to end game, then no, DFO is absolutely not pay to win. In fact, anyone can get to end game so long as you pay to grind. So long as you give enough care to your characters. But is it grindy? Then absolutely, unfortunately. There's no denying it. DFO is definitely a very grindy game. Especially in the current cap where they're trying to reward people who are more, let's just say, determined to grind. Of course, like, you don't have to grind your butt off by, I don't know, running 15,000 characters into dungeons so that you can get all the mats and things like that. You don't have to spend all day grinding. Actually not, but you can just do your dailies and you can get to endgame, no problem. But obviously it's gonna matter on how long you have to grind. What are we grinding for? So right now I am running my dailies, and here, let me show you this. So there's this thing called DFO missions, and this basically gives you, if you do these missions, it gives you a bunch of goodies. The main goodies are, one, the golden barrels, which is the primary mat you use to improve your gear, and the play points. The play points are basically what you use to buy these tickets for advanced dungeons, and these are basically the bread and butter dungeons to go before you get to the end game. These are the ladder, let's just say, ladder that you have to climb to get big gears so you can get stronger, and as you get stronger, you have this value of, your value on your stats called fame, and this is what takes you to the next level of the end game. It's like it's like a wall or barrier, let's just say. And if you don't meet the fame requirement for the dungeons, then you are not able to run them. So the current 110 cap of DFO, the way it works is basically every gear has their levels. You can feed them gears that you don't need to increase their levels, and when you increase their levels, you become stronger and you get more fame. So you basically run dungeons, run advanced dungeons, get good gears, feed them to your gear, get more fame, run higher difficulties, rinse and repeat, until you get the true end game, which is Pins and Raid at the moment. And going through the advanced dungeons, so the highest difficulty of advanced dungeon is 34k, but that's kind of high. Let's just say 31k. Getting up to 31k is not too bad. You can just do the minimum dailies and just do a little bit more, sprinkle some other dungeon runs in between so they can have fun while you're doing it. You don't feel so stressed, and you can get to about 30k no problem. It's the 30k to 33k grind that's very sloggy. In my opinion, that's the true end game right now in this game, because that 3k fame gap is very, very slow. How long does it take for you to get to 30k? So again, as I mentioned, the advanced dungeons are the bread and butter, right? This is where you get all the quote-unquote big gears to feed your stuffs. Let's just say right now there's a lot of events to help you get through the fame and get you more stuff so you can get fame a lot easier. But let's just assume that there's no event and you're just running this game vanilla. Then I would say it would take a while until 30k. If you are lucky and diligent, I'd say around a month or two. If you're lucky and diligent, that is. By diligent, I mean you can run the daily dungeons, like these again. They don't have daily entry limits. So long as you have FP, you can keep running them over and over. And these can up to 30k fame. These can drop decent level of gears. You can get them get more stuffs. So if you run these over and over and run your FP, at least for the character that you're trying to gear up every day, then yeah, a month or two should be enough. If you're not lucky and not diligent, let's say you're doing minimum effort and you're actually getting minimum drops, it might take a while, but I'd say even then, at maximum, it would be 3 months. And that's maximum. It's ceiling in my opinion. It doesn't get any longer than that. And that's you don't even care about the events, you don't even care about the extra running things. You just you come in, you do the minimum dailies, you run the minimum amount of advanced dungeons every week, and that's it. You just turn off DFO. What's the pay to win aspect of the game? So this game has the primary pay to win is the packages. Let's see here. This game has about, how often do they change packages? About every month or two they would release new packages, which has avatars for looks, and there are some, let's just say, side equipment such as titles, auras, creatures, and avatars that also affect your stats. And some of these are quite powerful, and since these are things that are sold with real money, either you have to spend real money to get them, or you have to spend a large amount of actual in-game gold to get them. You don't have to spend real money to get these because they are tradable, so other players can buy them for you and sell them to you. But you need to obviously, since they are purchased and traded by real money, you have to be willing to spend a large amount of gold, which you need to either grind for or you need to spend real money for. Other than that, there are some pay-to-win aspects as well, such as the Danji's Pot, which is basically a monthly, let's just say, gacha. That's the best way to put it. Where you might get some good stuffs, but again, in my opinion, this is not worth it at all. The only thing that's, or not only thing, but the primary pay-to-win aspect is the packages. Because every once in a while they would release what's known as BIS, Best in Slot, new packages. which would increase the ceiling of how good a certain slot item is. So they would release, a new title that's better than what's existed before, or a new aura, and so on and so forth. And this is what makes it kind of pay to win. And if you want to be like, I want to be really, really powerful, I want to get to end game, but not just get to end game, but be really strong, I want to feel above others, then you would obviously need to spend not a non-trivial amount of effort or money in order to get these BIS titles and things like that. Of course, there are some more cheap and cost-efficient titles and whatnot, and those you can get relatively cheaply with this gold in the game. And that's why I don't call it exactly pay to win, because all these things, like the budget titles and auras and whatnot, they are relatively cheap to get, they are not so out of reach, and you can just get them with in-game gold, you don't have to spend any real money for it. And so, as I said, you can get to end game no problem without spending a single penny in this game. In fact, that's what I did for like a very long time. Even now, I don't spend that much money to the game. I only spend money for the sake of supporting the devs. But other than that, I don't really spend a lot of money. And I'm like, my main character, sure, I grind a lot, to be fair. I do spend a lot of grinding in this game, but right now my main character's fame is 43.5k fame, which is very, very high right now in the game. It's like top 1%. And that is like, I barely spent any money in this game. Of course, that was counterweighted by the fact that I did a lot of grinding. But, you know, will other player get sufficient advantages if I don't spend any money? You can still get, like, let's just say, so when you get to end game, since you're playing with other people, to be fair, here's one thing, you can play solo if you want. Ispins and there's a solo version for Baccarat Raid as well. So you can play solo if like worst comes to worst. But if you really want to play with other people, then obviously there's a minimum bar of like gear and avatars and things like that you have to have. But those you can get with in-game gold. You don't have to spend money for that. As I said, everything that you need to get to endgame, even if it's like for the sake of party, you can get just by spending gold. Or right now they're just giving away a tons of stuffs in the anniversary event shop, these which are practically free because they're there from the event. Like for example, this rare clone avatar sub box, this is usually very, very expensive and usually not really obtainable with a trivial amount of gold, but right now they're just giving it away for free. And so it's very important that you take advantage of the events they have in the video game right now. But if you take advantage of these events and do dailies and you're just... It's more important that you constantly play the game rather than like, oh, I'm gonna grind for 16 hours today. It's not about that, it's more about you play the game every day. So you can keep getting the stuff that the dailies and things like that. And if you do that, then you will get to end game relatively quickly, no problem. And it's an RPG, so yes. And sure, like people who spent money obviously get to a higher point much faster. Because again, this is a free-to-play game, so they need to get monetization out of it somehow. But that doesn't mean there's no like actual wall in this game anywhere where, oh, if you don't spend money, you can't get these. There's nothing locked out. Oh, excuse me, I need to grab a drink. They can get ahead faster, but there is a cap to how much you can get strong exactly. Hello, goddamn. If you were at 22k fame like me, what would you do to raise your fame? I mean, as I mentioned before, until like up to 33k fame, it's mostly about the advanced dungeons. So you're at 22k fame, so you are at, you'll be running, let's see here, Destroyed Castle of the Dead normal. But you should relatively quickly reach 24k fame, which would be the next level of DCD. And then after that, Meister's Lab, so on and so forth. So you just climb up this ladder, except for the Noblesse Code. Noblesse Code is for your alts, not to actually get stronger. So the DCD, Destroyed Castle of the Dead, and Meister's Laboratory, you just run these, you follow up the ladder, and you get better gears for your fame. And as Kitty just mentioned, there's this dungeon called Stormy Wrath. Not Stormy Wrath, Storm's Wrath. Not Stormy Wrath. So if you go to Philasia, you have to do a certain quest for this. It's just like, you just talk to some people and that's it. But there's this place called Storm's Wrath. And if you go here, there's this dungeon that you can run once a week that gives a lot of very, very high level gear. And there are two difficulties. One is normal, you can enter it from 11k fame, or 12k fame, excuse me. And the expert difficulty you can enter from 25k fame. And these drop very, very high level gear for their difficulty. So these would help you climb the ladder as well until about 30k fame, no problem. How long have I been playing this game? For 7 years, since 2016. And there'll be master difficulty as well? Yes. I don't know exactly when that's coming. I don't know if they'll add it with Bakal Raid update because it's also supposed to come a little bit later. But they did say they're pulling some updates forward. I don't know exactly which ones they are. It's either the upcoming April 4th or May 30th. But that's a bit far away. The master difficulty is 34k, so not immediately relevant for you. Toast Points, hello. What is the strongest knight subclass for Bakal Raid? In terms of raw damage, it's Elven Knight, no competition, but Elven Knight is extremely hard to play and extremely hard to get numbers out of in actual situations. And I'd say all the knights right now have some, let's just say, they are relatively well balanced, they are all good in their own ways. Hold on, how many characters do I have? What's the point of making that much characters? I was just having fun. I have one of every single class in the game because I just wanted it for the sake of collection. But I also play a lot of characters as well because having alternate alts, what they call in this game, which is your side characters that you don't spend as much effort into them. There are some, so end game contents I mentioned, Ispins and Bakal Raid and whatnot. They also give account bound mats, which means they are mats that you don't have to use on the said character, you can give them to other characters. So the more characters you have, the more mats you can funnel to other characters. So that helps with accelerating the process. Of course, that doesn't mean you have to have a lot of alts. The game rewards you for it, but you don't have to. I played back in 2010, wouldn't imagine DFO nowadays. I feel out of place badly. I mean, you know, the game's changed a lot. To be fair, if the game doesn't change a lot over those course of 10 years, that game is close to being dead. But yes, the game has been changing a lot, especially the current cap, 110 cap. They've tried a lot to change a lot of interface and let's just say paradigm of the game, which had caused a lot of problems and issues, but also fixed a lot of long-running problems of the game as well. Is there a healing or tanking role in this game? Tanks technically don't exist in this game. There are some classes that can technically act as tanks, such as the Lightbringer, because she can pull aggro, but it doesn't really mean anything because the game is more about dodging the attacks anyway. And there are a lot of big AoE attacks. Healing, there are several healing characters. First of all, there are 3 buffer characters, also known as Crusaders or Satyrs. Though one of the classes is not Satyrs. They are... Where's my collection? Not that. Where is it? Here it is. So there are... Let's see here. The male Crusader, the female Crusader, and the Enchantress. These 3 classes are known as the buffers on this game. And what they do is they don't actually do damage in party, but they buff other party members, as you could expect. And their role obviously focuses on supporting other party members. So you would buff them, you would heal them, and when the time comes, they have these awakening skills which greatly increase the damage of your party temporarily. So it's about timing that awakening skills. And these 3 are the only real support classes in the game. And you can expect they have a much easier time getting into end game parties. If you wanna play them, go ahead. They are, well, I mean, depends on player preferences. They play quite differently from other characters, but if you like that, there's nothing wrong with that. Other than that, the only real class that can heal others is the Lightbringer. She has a built-in heal skill. She is also kind of designed to be like a tanky character because she's, I mean, you can see she's hold on. I don't know why I pressed escape, but she's supposed to be this epitome of knight, paladin-esque character who can heal and protect party members. So she is innately kind of tough, but that doesn't mean you have to play as a tank on her, or other characters can be a bit more tanky. In the current cap, there are many different epic builds and setups that can let you focus on a certain aspect of the character. You can be more tanky, you can be more damage-oriented and whatnot. But again, as I mentioned, there's no aggro aspect in this game. Technically, no. So there's no tankers or tanks in this game. But as I said, there are some supporters and buffers. Having said that, let me continue my daily and show you how a buffer would play, I guess. So this is a female crusader. Most people have the assumption that all buffers are terrible in solo, but if you choose the right setup, that's not necessarily true. If you just like how the buffer plays, then you can play buffer solo no problem with the right setup. Of course, they are meant to be played in parties. They're designed that way, so obviously they excel in a party situation more. But this game, you know, it doesn't punish you for playing the game as the way you want. How much real money did you charge into this game in the 7 years? Good question. Definitely less than $1,000. That's for sure. I can confidently say that. I would say 500, 600? This is just me eyeballing it though. I'm not actually calculating it. But yeah, definitely not 1,000, about like 500, 600. I'd say, if my memory is serving me right. And that, like, at least half of that is like in the past, like couple years, because I just wanted to spend a bit more money to support the devs. In the first like 3 years, I was actually really free to play. I didn't spend a single penny. And my main male Nen was already like in endgame tier, like before I started actually spending money into this game. And even then, as I mentioned, I haven't spent that much. I'm getting a lot of epics on this guy. Nice. Bothers. Oops. How many classes are there in this game? It seems a lot. There are 63 classes in the game right now. There will be one more coming soon. Another buffer class. But that's a story of the future. Right now there are 63 classes, 3 of which are buffers, the rest are all DPS classes. Or regular, like, you know, combat classes, let's just say. Which, I guess, the number is quite a bit. It can be overwhelming at first, but it also gives you a lot of freedom of choice. And the game also doesn't punish you for, like, making new characters. In fact, it encourages you. And I don't remember exactly how many slots you get when you're a new player. Character slots, I mean. Do you get, like, 12 or 20? I don't remember, actually. But you have plenty of slots to, like, try out characters. And if you don't like something, just make something new. There's nothing wrong with that. The game really encourages that. Just trying out characters. If you're out of slots, then just delete something you are not exactly playing. And occasionally the game would give out... thank you for the follow, Alin SX. I hope that's how you read it. Hope you have a good time in stream. 63, Jesus, yes, that's quite a few. But that also means it can suit the palate of a lot of players, because I'll be honest, the roster of Dungeon Fighter Online, the characters that exist here, are, I'd say, quite unique. Like, it boasts a quite robust range of classes and characters, so there is something for almost everyone. And as I mentioned, the game doesn't punish you for making more characters. In fact, it would love you to do that. And the game also occasionally gives out free character slot expansion tickets, so you can make even more characters if you want to. You don't have to, obviously. Unless you are a maniac like me who wants to complete the collection of every single class in the game. Of course, that doesn't mean I play every single one of them. I only play a limited number of them. But yeah, back then, early on, when I first started playing this game, I wasn't an endgame player. I was more into like, oh, I want to try this character, I want to try this character. So I just play through the story and get them to max level. And then, oh, this guy's done, let's move on to the next one. And that's how I played the game back then. And some people still do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then, about halfway through, I started getting into the end game, and yeah, here I am now. basically every veteran in the game. PSA, keep yourselves hydrated, gamers. It's important. Jesus Christ, 27 viewers? What the? You guys are cracked. Is no one else streaming DFO right now? No. Oops. Also, side note, another public service announcement. The X-Stream for the update preview, the upcoming update preview is not gonna be on Thursday, but it's gonna be on Monday next week. So please keep that in mind. Let's see, how many hours do you spend in this game grinding? Do you grind every single day? I do play this game every single day. As to how much grinding that I do, I'd say if it's like just a purely grinding time, like doing the dailies and the grinding for dungeons, the chores, let's just say, not the actual like end game content, it would be about an hour to an hour and a half every day. But that's also because I am running, like as you can see, I'm just constantly running dailies on my characters. I have like 10 characters that I run through daily every day, which takes about 30 to 40 minutes. Plus I run my main through a dungeon for his whole FV bar. So that in total takes about an hour to an hour and a half. And that's, to be fair, not including the actual like real content that I run, like endgame, like Ispins and Bakal Raid that I mentioned. But yeah, as I mentioned before, it's less about how much you grind. Like, let's say, like, oh, I wanna grind 10,000 hours today. Nah, it's less about that. It's more about just consistently playing every day. Well, I'm kidding. I'm trying to. Shh. Don't tell Neopol I'm playing Bakal Raid right now. Jokes aside, technically I'm not running Bakal Raid. It's what's called Machine Revolution Total War. I'm just saying it's Bakal Raid because it's easier to explain. It's basically Bakal Raid but easier version. The real Bakal Raid is coming next week. And people are gonna die. It's gonna be great. But even if it's like just even if you play like 20 minutes every day, 15 minutes every day, it's more about consistently playing this game every day rather than, oh, I'll spend, today is like Tuesday, I'll spend 16 hours in this game and the rest of the week I don't play anymore. That's less effective than playing like 20 minutes every day. Because this game is dailies, events, and things like that. And taking advantage of those is the key to, let's just say, playing this game minimum effort. If you're only playing 1 to 3 characters, you're fine with like 5 to 10 minutes a day, no problem, yeah. Because a daily, like the DFO daily missions that I showed you before, a set of daily missions is only 4 runs. It's only 4 dungeons. That's it. And then if you're like low fame, like these side missions might take a bit longer than that. But even then, there's like 6 runs tops. So 6 runs on a character is like, what, 5 minutes? So if you're playing like 1 to 3 characters, it's not a lot. It's like 15 minutes tops. And then if you want to do a bit more, then you can pick a main and then just run the main on more dungeon runs for the sake of gold and potentially more fame. Or you don't have to if you don't want. Nothing wrong with that either. Hello Draggers5, you just activated the drops card. That is Sungahime's short guide on how to get drops. If you're still confused after the guide, feel free to ask any questions in chat and I'll be glad to answer them. Wow, that's a lot of Neo Premium. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Neo Premium tokens. Can you show me the fighter class? Sure. Which of the fighter class? All 4 of them? Also, male fighter or female fighter? Right now I'm playing the male Nen of the fighter classes, which is also my main. Female, okay, hold on. Let me just quickly show you all of them one by one then. Let me just leave this real quick. So there are 4 female fighter classes. The Nen Master, Brawler, Grappler, and Striker. Let's see. Let's start with a Brawler. So the Brawler class is... it's meant to be like this class that just uses whatever the hell she wants in a fight. And she uses poison. Hold on, this is slow as hell, because I don't actually play her. There we go. And this class specializes on poison attacks. As you can see, it's very purpley. And she's quite powerful. She can dish out a lot of damage over time attacks. And she benefits very well from the current meta of the game, I guess. Because there's a set that boosts ailment damages. You can expect that she would benefit very well with that. But yeah, that's... Her downside is that her AoEs aren't that good, so while you're leveling her it can be very sloggy, but she does a lot of damage. And yeah, that's about that. Let me move on to the next one. Which one is it? Female Nen. The female Nen used to be one of the few support-oriented classes in the game. Where am I going? Excuse me. And she still has some aspects to her that support her party members. For example, she has a fixed value buff that boosts party members' speed. So hold on, let's see here. For example, where is it? Here, this Sun's Breath skill basically adds speed and defense to your entire party, so she's supportive. She also has this barrier ability, which, as you can see, hits a wide area, so it would help the entire party, or most of the party. Other than that, she's kind of like a typical monk-like class in video games. As you can see, she's using this key energy kind of attacks. She's pretty good as well. Her damage is slightly lower than others. Slightly lower than average, I mean, because of the fact that she can support, but even then she does enough damage. And you would expect that since she has a speed buff, she is generally on the more faster side and comfy to play. Hold on, where is... Okay, the other 2 fighter classes, female fighter classes, I don't play. Excuse me, sorry, but so I don't... Hold on. You know Tenjin and Shu? I just did. Do excuse me if I don't actually know how to play these characters, because I don't play them. I mean, I know how they function, but I don't, you know, play them as extensively as my other characters, so clearly the way I play them or demonstrate her would be quite sluggy. But Striker is basically a combo-oriented traditional fighter class. I just missed. I love it. So who focuses more on like actual martial arts. And she has this built-in combo mechanism that lets her cancel skills into other skills. So she can string combos very fast. I'm bad at her, so don't mind me. But what else? And she also has a built-in super armor. As you can see, she has a yellow-red outline on her right now, which means she has super armor, so she can't be knocked back by conventional means. So she's very stable. She's also decently fast. And she's very powerful in terms of damage. But again, she gotta punch everything manually, so she has quite small area of attack, let's just say. But yeah, let me stop embarrassing myself because I'm horrible at playing her. Let me move on to the last one and continue embarrassing myself with something else. Let's see here, where is the grappler? And then lastly, the female grappler. She is a class that uses these, let's just say, WWE pro wrestling skills. And as you can see, I'm horrible because I don't know how to use her. Oh, hold on, let me get more speed. And the best part about her is that when she's grabbing her enemies, she has iframe. In other words, she doesn't take any damage when she's grabbing her enemies, which makes her very, very stable in terms of like constantly dishing out damage. The problem is, if you miss the grab, you do no damage. So it requires you to be able to coordinate the grabs to targets properly. But once you can keep the grab combo going, you can like dish out damage constantly without worrying about getting countered in your face while you are like doing a rolling suplex on the target. Should show the classic grab Spirazzi and throw it across the screen. What the fuck? But yeah, something. How is the PvP aspect of the game? I am sorry to tell you, it is close to being dead. There are some few people who still play it, but most of the people don't, because this game's netcode relies on P2P, and since this game is a global game, the connection is horrible, and you can expect it to be much worse for PvP. But there are some people who still love to play PvP in this game. If you want to know more about PvP, there is... honestly, I don't play PvP a lot, so I can't tell you much about it. But there is another streamer for DFOG called Ben Alton. And he is the real, let's just say, a PvP professional. He's also, in fact, a pro PvP player for DFOG. He's been on some competitions a few times, so I would suggest... if you're actually interested in PvP, then checking out his streams. What the hell was his Twitch channel? Hold on, let me try to link it. If I can find it. Was it this? Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. I just smacked my mic. Oh, it is Ben Al. Oh, you did that, yeah. Yep, that one. He is a, as I said, professional PvP gamer. He knows a lot more about PvP than I'd say almost anyone in this video game right now. So if you are actually interested in PvP, do check out his streams, and when he's live, try and go ask him some questions. He's a cool guy as well. He's very chill. He should be more than willing to answer you some PvP questions. At least in the global scene, of course, yeah. Because, as I mentioned, unfortunately, the PvP market for DFOG is all but dead. F-Grab is not worth playing without her best skin. What is this? Hold on. What is this? What is this? What is this? F-Grab 3 avatars are definitely hot. Hello, Neo Sinker. Oh, the cat. I see. Not false, I guess. That's pretty good. Let's see. Let me continue my dailies whilst chatting with you guys. Mango, can you do a 40-second test for me? What do you mean 40-second test for me? Like, do my Nan on 40-second sandbag? Yeah, as in like, what? My Nan or what? My Nan? Okay. It's been a while since I did that, so do keep in mind that I am very rusty. Hold on, let me just do the daily on this guy real quick, and I'll do the 40 sandbag. Remember her 3A quest event when you fight each other with the skin? It's literal cat fight. I see. Interesting. Yeah, I know the setup. I know what your the setup. I just don't do it too often because I don't really care. Yeah, let me just get through these dailies on this guy real quick, and I'll go to my Nen and try my 40 sandbag. It's been a while. I don't remember how much. And to be fair, there's the anniversary event right now, and I've gotten a few. What's some who's it's? Excuse me, Bakal pieces already. Is that my second Nen? Yes, my NG Nen. Okay, this guy is done. Ah, pick that up. Thank you. And let me do these. Okay. Let's see here. Mango has hit a point where he's just like, fuck, I got nothing to do, time to make my favorite class one more time. I mean, not false, I guess. Technically not false, but also it's NG, you know. I love to make NG slaves. I was like, huh, you know, I need more NG slaves, might as well make a Nan because Nan's amazing with NG. Okay, so let me just grab some potions. This one, where's the undiluted intelligence pot? Here it is. Oh, there's only one, I'm gonna buy more. Let me just buy 4, I don't even need that many. Okay. Let me go to the training room. I already have Asura as well, indeed. Let's see here. Another advanced Legion, Ispins, and Legion, Lumark. Another elemental buff. Speed buff. I only do 30% because there's no point. I already hit the cap anyway. Let's see here. Not abnormal status. Wait, that wasn't limited. What am I doing? Timer, monster hit count, boss, counterattack. Actually, let me remove the timer first. From someone. I forgot to apply. There we go. Hold on. Okay. Alright, hold on. I also haven't. Hold on. 1, 2. Can I do 3? Okay, let's try that. Timer. In case someone in chat is not aware of what I'm about to do, there's this thing called the 40-second sandbag test, which is one of the standards to measure how much damage you can dish out in a fixed period of time. You basically beat up one of the dragons from Ispins, because, you know, that's the end game content. It helps. It is a bit more fair in terms of comparison, I guess. Then again, even this 40-second comparison is not that fair for a lot of classes, but it's at least a standard. Yeah, let's see if I can do this. Hold on, let me move my iPad away from my face so I can do this better. Okay, I just used them. Okay, let's do this. Oops, damn it. I am very rusty. Op. See what happens if you're rusty. Behold, me being rusty as hell. We get another one. 2.2, not bad. Not bad for being what's someone who's it? Rusty as fuck. Hold on, let me see the actual damage analysis. Yeah, Chidori being up there makes sense. Massive, what the fuck? I think I can get another Chidori if I get the stacks right. Because right now, where is it? Or not. Seems stronger than me shaking my head. I mean, to be fair, it's as I said, 40-second is hard to compare. And also, to be fair, I'm also using a very, very powerful setup. The barrier speeder manual. I guess you have one more Ebon fuse, huh? I do. I do have 3 fuses, but it's not a lot of damage. And you got customs. I mean, I only use 2 customs with the shoulder and then top. The rest is just regular. I'd say one big gap is this bad boy right here, Holy Grail of Dawn. No one in the entire server uses this, I'd say. I'm the only one who does. And you know, only. I mean, these are not like 4 out of 4. They're just like 3 out of 4. And I've been, to be fair, working on this shoulder. I've been working on this for the entire duration of 100 tank cap, and I only have 1. And it's only 3 out of 4. This one I was lucky. Other than that, it's all, you know, the only madman on the server. To be fair, this thing does a dumb amount of damage if you can actually use it. If you can actually use it, and it's quite difficult, admittedly. Wait, but wait. Yeah, I use, and to be fair, I don't use all my skills for direction, but I use Chidori for directions. Yeah, so most of my cubes, so all my cube skills are 3 directions except for 4 and 4A is insane. 3A and Chidori, they are, was it? 4 directions? No wonder you miss skills. I mean, to be fair, in actual dungeons, I don't actually miss skills. Like, cause in Sandbag, I'm like, you know, hyper focused to try and dish out skills without losing cooldown. And I'm obviously screwing up. But in actual dungeons, I'm a bit more comfortable. Most of the time. Most of the time. I use full manual for your Demon Slayer. Nice. And it's hard. You gotta get used to it. I mean, I've been playing manual for 7 years and then it took 7 years to get here. $2.2 bill. I did 0.6. Hey man, you just gotta climb up the ladders one by one. You'll hit 1B soon enough, don't worry about it. You probably also did normal sandbag? Did you, speaking of which, did you pick Numak? Normal sandbag. I mean, normal sandbag's default is level 120, so I believe it takes more damage than Numak though. Yeah, Numak can spin stage. I never did sandbag test, so I'm happy about myself. No reason to disappoint myself. I mean, like, I'll be honest. How many situations in actual raids are there where you can actually use the 40-second rotation? That's why I don't bother with it. If I have time to practice the 40-second rotation, I just go into his spins and actually practice slapping dragons' faces. Zero, yeah, exactly. It's close to pointless. You have enough practice clicking by spamming labs all day? That too. It's a personal gain achievement good feeling thing? Nah, I don't like showing off my numbers. I really don't. That's why I don't bother with it. Also, once you're actually in Bakal, you have to save your cubes to burst during the... Or it's like, I mean, sure, like in Bakal there's the burst windows. But, you know. I doubt there will be people who will be able to actually properly, you know, keep track of the time windows and whatnot in the first week when you're busy trying to stay alive, let alone, you know, keep track of the patterns and burst windows. 22K. Wait, hold on. When did you say that? TD casually shitting on other people's fame for that. I mean, to be fair, 40 sec rotation is it requires very specific like carving. Also, Takakero, did you set it on counter? Also, there's the warp. Was it a lot of things like warlord, warlord pods and things like that? The consumables you can use. And there's like, if you are like just trying it out and if you haven't actually like carved out your 40 sec build and use the consumables and set the counter and whatnot, then you won't get a lot of numbers out of it. Yeah, but even if you can just measure your buttons 40k, you should at least do like 1 to 1.5k. I mean, that's very depends on, you know, the player. Imagine someone with 34k BM and does only 5 builds, something's wrong. 5 builds? And again, like 40-second, like even if you mash, like you get 1 to 1.5 build, I have to very strongly disagree to that. It very depends on the class and how you play the game. And what your setup is. Five build normal sandbag shouldn't be too hard. As I said, default sandbag level is 120. It takes more damage than Numak. Hold on, Echo Sam Samadog. Hello, are you Chinese? No, I am not Chinese. In fact, I can't even speak Mandarin. Hibernation. Oh, it's the mango. Hello, I am the mango. Hope you guys have a fine time and stream. On default 120 sandbag. Yeah, exactly. It takes more damage than Numag, as far as I remember. Mango is a global fruit. That's one way to put it. He only speaks Mangonese. It's kidding me out. One of the element. One of the element. What the? Get over here, you cheeky bastard. To be fair, I do speak several languages. Unfortunately, Chinese is not one of them. And give fruitation. I see 2 big Chinese characters at the bottom of the screen. Oh, that's the music that's playing in the background. Also, that's by Japanese artists, and Japan uses Chinese characters as well. That's why. Shanghai Tea House. But the music that's playing in the background is arrangements of Toho music. And you can expect the artists would be from Japan. Ah, I didn't mean to use that, that's fine. Ah, you would hug me, okay. Thank you for the hug. I'm Chinese and fluent to speak Cantonese, but I can barely read it. I mean, to be fair, like, there are a lot of people who can, like, speak and understand, but, like, either can't read or write or both. Because the let's just say motor aspect and the more practical part of language is always easier to achieve first, because you can even learn them by osmosis, by not even actually learning any grammar and whatnot, and you just interact with a lot of people and you just learn them automatically. That happens. Yeah, like, I speak Indonesian, I understand Indonesian, I'm pretty fluent with it, but I can only read and write like very basic stuffs or like slang stuffs. If someone like showed me like a book and I'm like, oh, read this, I'm like, oh, herder, perder, black letters, white papers, I don't know how to read this. And osmosis, like interaction and exposure is very important in the practical aspect of language. You can learn grammar all day, and sure, grammar is important if you want to be like more refined and be structuralized in how you speak and the let's just say language that you form. But if you without the practical like exposure and practice, you won't get anywhere. While the opposite still works. You can like, you know, just interact with people all day, every day without learning a single piece of grammar, and you'll be able to speak the language eventually. That's why whenever like some people tell me like, oh, how do you speak this language? How do you learn this language very fast? I tell them, buy a plane ticket to the country that speaks the language and drop yourself in the middle of nowhere. Then you will learn the language very, very fast. Because either that or you die. You gotta stay alive, then you gotta learn the language. And you are forced to just bang your face into the people over there, then you'll learn the language eventually. What to say with no money? I mean, to be fair, you can have some money, but like, I mean, just don't bring too much money, I guess. So it's 0.9 my final result, eh? That's fine. You can probably like carve it up a little bit, your skill rotation, to bring it up to like, I'd say maybe 1.1, 1.2. But yeah. Let's see here. 할로 감사합니다 바유마님. 스트림 재밌게 보세요. Heyo, Caspar, good to see you again. How are you doing on this fine Monday, the first day of work week? Hope you got through it safely. Also, side note, if some people noticed that I started stream an hour earlier today, that's because daylight saving. It just shifted today. Hey, Corey the Blizzard Wizard, it's the Sorcerer of Ice himself. How are you doing, Corey? Good to see you again. Yeah, I'm still on Grail Way, so rotation is messy. Ah, I see. The was it? The pilgrimage to master the Grail. You have my blessing. You have my blessing, Takakeru. Fight on. Very comfy, my workday was pretty chill. I hope it stays that way. Nice, nice. I hope it stays that way as well. Let's see here. Corey is in the house. He indeed is. Everyone prepare for a snowstorm. Because the Blizzard Wizard is in the house. I'm so sick of the exhausting weeks. Hope you have a pretty chill work weeks for the next forever. I could go for more snow, though I love the rainy last few days. Ah, Corey in the house is my favorite anime, not gonna lie. Look at that man shooting the ice. Look at that man shooting the ice. Funny you mentioned that. Actually, no, not mentioned that, but like funny that Corey showed up today. But today I was out having dinner with some people. And then we were having a Chinese hot pot, and while we were having it, it started hailing outside. So we were like, "What the fuck?" And then yeah, that was something. 7300. I'm not even gonna bother with the 300. It's nice, but it's not worth the paying for the 150k with the owl. I don't have that kind of money. I mean, I do, but I refuse to spend it. Heart soul, nice. My faith is strong, thank you, master. Go forth, child. I believe in you. You have my faith as well. Oh, I want some Chinese hot pot, OMG. Okay, back to my RPG Maker Hellhole for the Night. Might be a live story time since DSC hasn't shipped it back for me. I see. Sure. Takakero, excuse me, Caspar. Story time should be in not too long. I don't have much to do in DFO today. It's just dailies and... Mango, do you have faith in our Bakal raid? First day clear? I think we can. Just depends on how the teams are raids are set up. I'll keep an eye on stream. Good luck, good luck. Thank you, Caspar. Feel free to just lurk for as long as you want. And good luck with your RPG Maker hellhole. Hope you make it out of hell alive. They said I can sell Bakal Raid a lot as long as my teammates are similar specs and know the gimmicks. 44k eases. Also rip 2x boxes. Yeah. Here, that's that. Excuse me, grabbing a drink real quick. How many engine slaves do I have? 5 at the moment. If we get another jump event eventually, I'll make one more. My chaos, so I'll have 6. Then that's gonna be it. Kitty, if you make another slave joke, I'm gonna ban you. But yeah, I plan on having 6. That's it. I'm not gonna make any more than that. My bad, it's fine. Just don't repeat the mistake. 6 though. I mean, 6 is not that many. But you already play more than 6 characters? What about it? Not, you know, I gotta be the clout. That's 12? I mean, technically, I only play 5 in fairness. My 2 satyrs, my savior, my dragoon, and my nen. I do have my SB and Spectre, but I don't play them every week. I just like, if I actually feel like it, I go back to them. But they are not like, I'm kind of whatever about them. So technically that's a 11. And also, to be fair, when Muse comes, I'll probably drop my smaller satyr and move on to replace it with Muse. "11 characters that you actually play." Yeah, true, not false. But not like the NG characters require a lot of time or investment. They're pretty fast with Ispins. I don't run anything else with them. I just run Ispins and Bakal Raid. Not Bakal Raid, excuse me, Total War. And the dailies, that's it. And sometimes I skip the dailies on them. Because, why did I do that? I'm too lazy. I wonder if there's another Satyr event. There will be one for sure. There's gonna be a Fame boost event when Bakal Raid comes next week. At least, supposedly, they said that last time. And when Muse comes, there should be a Satyr jump event. Those two I am fairly certain about. Would love it on my 3rd Satyr. I mean, as I said, when Muse comes, they should have another Satyr event. A Satyr jump event, excuse me. I just hope they don't give out free VIs and chance for Muse. I mean, to be fair, that's your problem. Don't hold it to hoard those spirit cards. You know what they say, hoarders face their own consequences. It's an investment for the future. I mean, funny, actually, I think like that's how the stock market kind of works in general anyway. It's an investment for the future and it's kind of a gambling. It either works or it doesn't. Just gotta have a leap of faith. They will be giving away for sure, probably 90. Cadian have got like BIS stuffs. I don't know if we're gonna get the same thing. I don't know what's gonna happen for us, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm waiting for the barrel prices to jump again. That'll probably happen unless Or one my ham gives out another 5k barrels again. To be honest, Neopol was saying they want to fixate the population with those events, but to do that they need to give out a lot more than just fame. True. And they said that's why they're also gonna like boost buff power with their fame event, not just the fame, because in KDNF they did their 3k fame boost event for satyrs, but they did nothing else, so things actually got messy. But for us, they said they'll boost our buff power as well. We don't know how much we'll get, we'll have to wait and see. And the X-Stream, which is gonna be next Monday, reminder, X-Stream, this update is not on this Thursday, but next Monday. So please keep that in mind. I took a leap of faith and pretty sure I'm losing another life out of my cat life bank. Rest in pieces, you have my condolences. I'm sitting on 16k barrels. Ooh, that is indeed a little worrisome. How long have I been streaming? An hour and 15 minutes? Sitting on 3k buff power, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it's more than what they're giving out with this event right now. Right now it's like 2.3. It will make Bakal way easier. Yeah, it would make Bakal a lot easier. And that's why I feel like the first week of Bakal raid is not gonna be as bad as it was for KDNF. It does, but I don't know if it's gonna apply for Bakal. Because they were talking about like, oh, this might not apply for Bakal. I don't know if it will. We'll have to wait and see. If it does, then that's gonna make things even easier, but I don't know if this event will. But assuming it does, we'll get 2 weeks of this for Bakal raid. Because this anniversary event ends on the 18th. It applies to Total War, it should apply to Bakal. I mean, supposedly, but also Neopol makes wonders, so we'll have to wait and see. Thank you for the follow. All of my glasses are Krotashong. Hope you have a good time, a fine chill time and stream. Time to cook dinner. Good luck cooking the dinner. But yeah, I'm making mango salad as a side. Nice, sounds delish. What? I'm a mango? What do I care? I love having mangoes. Delish. But I'll leave you out of it? Well, I mean, you know. I doubt you'll get me in there even if you tried. Cannibal. You know, hey man, mangoes are delish. What can I say? Drill a 1-inch hole in the mango. Excuse me? Excuse me? You want to drill a what? You want to drill a what at me? But yeah, I'm out of things to do in DFO, I guess. So let me just chill and chat with you guys for a bit, and then I'll move on to my bread and butter primary content of my streams, which would be DFO stream time. DFO stream time. What is wrong with me? halfmango's DFO story time. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a fine Monday today. Let's see, what can I mention? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I need to... It's the weekly reset. And if you are a tryhard like me that cares about the weekly EXP capsules, make sure to use them up. Otherwise, they're gonna go down the drain. Where was it? Not here. Shop. Level up? Nice. Amazing. And let me just go through the PSAs again. No Extreme this week, it's next week. Weekly reset coming up. Anything else? Not much, I guess. Next week is Bakal Raid update. Tuesday. I don't know if they're gonna open on Tuesday. They probably will, but who knows. Get your butts ready. Okay, so if there's not much going on anymore, then hold on, let me switch the screen. Why, like Windows? Why you're angry? Stop, silence, silence. I just pressed one button. Don't be angry at me. But let me take my usual quick break. Use this moment to stretch yourselves as well, people. It's important. as gamers. Anyhow, I'll take a very short break and I'll be back with my usual DFO story time of the day. But yes, I'll be seeing you guys in a couple minutes. I'll be right back. 잠깐만요. 아니, 잠깐 쉬러 가려는데 딱 오시네. 안녕하세요, 정화범님. 잠깐 쉬러 가니까 금방 다시 오겠습니다. Alright, I'm back everyone. I'm back. Is everyone still alive? Good. Let me just prepare real quick. Where's my iPad? Here it is. Today's story time is gonna be a little bit different. So far, I've only read things that I've actually made myself for DFO story. But today I brought something slightly different. It's basically on one of the stories from DF Universe that I've edited to fix some, let's just say, not so narrative sentences and grammatical errors and typos and whatnot. So it sounds a bit more dramatic and nice to hear when it's told verbally. So let me just pause the music and bring up today's background music, which is, I don't know if you guys remember this, but this is the lobby theme of Pandemonium War. And today's story is titled The God of a New World. And it's excuse me. It's a story about, it's related to the Pandemonium War, which was a content back in 95 cap. It was the first content that introduced talismans. But it was also story-wise quite relevant. And today we are basically going to listen to the story of how Sarposa, who is the leader of Kashpa, his ambitions came to be. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this story. As usual, if you guys have questions or comments, throw them in the chat. While I'm reading the story, I won't interrupt myself, so I'm not gonna answer them in between, but after I'm done reading, I'll catch up to all of them and answer any questions that you guys might have or not. But yeah, here we go. The God of the New World. Written by Neopol, edited by halfmango. In the depths of East Harlem, the members of Kashpa were hard at work in preparation for their upcoming war. Its training ground was filled with members teaching and learning how to use the Abyss weapons. In a corner, two groups of men held a mock battle with crudely carved wooden clubs. At first, they moved sloppily, but they gradually became more refined and coordinated. In the past, the Kashpa heavily relied on its leaders who had the Abyss implanted in them for its military strength. The others were just cannon fodder that were mostly inept at magic. This changed with the Abyss weapons. The weapons were unstable, but were as effective as Abyss implementation, allowing their users to tap into their power greater than their own magic. This brought about a great change. First, it significantly decreased the number of deaths during Abyss implantation procedures. Those with great mana still preferred Abyss implantation, but those who didn't no longer had to risk their lives for power, and naturally the fear against the Abyss implantation also decreased. And as such, the untalented who were abandoned, the defeated who were robbed, and the wanting who desired strength all gravitated towards the Kashpa. Soon, the Kashpa became so immense that it was seemingly an exhibition of every single person in Pandemonium. This unheard of change caused and confused everyone but their leaders. As if they had been waiting for this, they immediately armed their men and trained them systematically. Once things settled down, the Kashpa attacked other organizations around it, gaining battle experiences by crossing borders to raid other villages if necessary. Now, the largest army in Pandemonium's history was born in East Harlem. Its soldiers were in high spirits. Every single member of the Kashpa believed that they would rule over all of Pandemonium. And the anticipation for what would follow after climbed ever higher towards fanaticism. The mansion de Sarposa, where it is said that the wealthiest families in Pandemonium resided, and at its highest, on the spire throne, a man looked down upon them all, his back against the darkness. Clack, clack. With the tapping footfalls resonating across the floor, appeared Doghead. She calmly walked towards the man and put a coat over his shoulders. She then leisurely moved her hands, straightening his garments. "It's ready," whispered Doghead into the man's ear as she hugged him from behind like a lover would. But the man remained unmoving. "The destiny of Pandemonium has always been on the palms of the apostles." The silent, emotionless man finally opened his mouth. A light from Tabers, a planet that had come close to Pandemonium, shone through the window and illuminated him. His red shirt and the coat around his shoulders emanated an ominous sensation. Doghead released her arm around him and caressed his face with her hand. The light of Tabers slowly shifted, revealing the man's face. Pale skin, white hair slicked back, and eyes darker than lightless darkness itself. "No matter how strong we became, we were nothing to the apostles. We had no choice but to hide or run." On the day that he encountered he who even death feared, that moment, he felt absolute helplessness and bottomless despair. His instincts screamed to run, so he ran as fast as he could. The scream of the furthest man echoed. Then, the sound of the one after bursting into pieces. He was running with all his strength, but he could not outrun the death on his tails. And when his last man turned to dust with a scream, death no longer followed. He was the only survivor. His bones were crushed beyond repair, and his innards were drooping out of a hole in his abdomen. He tried to push them back in, but it was pointless. He hadn't realized how badly he was wounded. The missing right eye had only left the terrible affliction of it being gouged out. His left eye wasn't in a good shape either. His consciousness slowly drifted away from him. If he passed out now, he may never wake up. He desperately tried to stay awake, and it was to no avail. It was a long dream. Everything was clear despite having lost his eyes. Dark red liquid was dripping everywhere, and someone was calling his name. He turned his head and saw an indiscernible shape. It approached him and said it would offer him a new life, and that a prophecy will come to him, and he was to fulfill it with a crimson flame falling from the sky as the revelation. And when he was awake, he felt from his eyes, or rather from where his eyes were, an intense power. The power repaired his crushed bones and knitted his torn flesh back together. His innards were also back where they belonged. Most of all, the world that he should no longer be able to see slowly came back into his vision. His body was filled with energy. He had come back from death. And then he faced a prophecy as it had told him in his dream. The words on the tall, risen stab before him engraved themselves into his mind. When the man raised his hand, Doghead moved to his right and knelt on one knee. She was like a priestess, ready to receive a revelation from her god. The authority to create all, yet not a word of praise. The wandering within the darkness, yet not a will to fulfill. To be created are those of worship and a cradle of rest. To create is to destroy, and only by destruction can new creation come forth. 12 shall be chosen. It is declared, to be sacrificed is noble. Only the refined blade shall pierce their hearts and return them to the great will. At the end of the sacrifice shall come forth a new world, and only two will remain, the one feared by death and the one who veils the resplendent dew. They will not perish, but remain eternal. Such is the beginning of the new world. How excited was he to come back from death and face this prophecy. Everything was being prepared for him. The sudden journey to Brooklyn, the disastrous man he faced, the prophecy after death, all for him. I have been chosen. My 2 eyes are the stigma, my heart the power of redemption. Everything was as prophesied, and everything was ready. With this, death shall come to fear me. The foretold crimson flame fell from the sky. The revelation devoured it, and he would be able to end his long journey and take a step towards the end. I shall devour all the apostles and be a god. This great hardship before me will refine me to pierce the arrogant apostles' hearts and turn their powers mine. End. Listening to his words, Doghead reverently bowed her head. The man to be the king of Harlem? No, the savior of all, who shall punish the apostles that defile pandemonium. Reverence for the man who will be the god of the new world. At the end of the prophecy, I shall announce the beginning of a new world. He ran his hand across his eyes. The flame rode his fingers and burned in dark crimson. Everything by my will. The God of the New World, written by Neopol, edited and read by halfmango. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. That is basically the backstory of Sarposa, the boss of Kashpa, which is the mafia in a sense. And he is a little backstory, I guess. He is basically, before the existence of Neo Elemental Bomber, the most powerful Elemental Bomber existence, and he is also the first Warlock, which is the first awakening of the Elemental Bomber. But he wasn't always that strong. He used to be an arrogant and spry teenager. I don't know if he was a teenager or was just a young man. But he and his friends, for some reason, went to Brooklyn and challenged Kine. I don't know how that was a good idea, but they did that, and then he immediately learned that it was a mistake. All of his friends perished, and he was the only one left. And he was also dying, to be fair. He's like, his eyes were gone, his intestines had become outestines, and things were not really looking good for him. But a mysterious figure approached him. He got pimp slapped by Kine, bet. Quite. Like, look at it. What is this? Some curved my ass and just slapped him in the face. And fortunately, Sarposa ran far away enough, and Kine doesn't follow you anymore if you run away far enough. And then Sarposa was like, "Oh my god, I'm bleeding! Oh, is this my small intestine? Is this my eyeball?" And he was like dying. And then this weird ass thing came. Takakura, you piece of shit! How dare you! Damn it! What has Sungahime done to my chat? What has she done? Ah! Also, Teal, good to see you again. Hope you enjoyed my story. If you caught all that, basically shoved the abyss into his eyeballs and like, okay, boy, you're alive again, and and basically told him like, oh, there will be this prophecy. You better keep this prophecy happening. And then it just disappeared, and Sarposa woke up and was like, oh shit, my outestines are back inside me. So he, at that point, he was like, and there was this like big slab of stone in front of him telling all this prophecy, and he was like, holy shit, this is the new Genesis. And then for some reason he read it. I think it's supposed to be like a wrong version of it that Hilder showed him, and he was like, oh my god, I can be the god of the new world, I'm gonna be the god. And then he started he climbed his way up to Kashba and became his boss, and then he became this man who had black eyes. It's like, you could ask him like, hey, did someone punch your eyes? And then he would punch you and you would evaporate. He became that kind of man, right? He would point to people and then say Ligma, and then you would explode. He became very, very powerful thanks to the abyss in his eyes. And then he was basically preparing for, let's just say, the Pandemonium War, so he could, announce himself to be the god of the new world. And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna have my revenge match against Kine. I'm gonna pulverize all the apostles, and I'm gonna have that hill. I'm not gonna say the word. He became the Elemental Bomber. Thank you for the follow, 5 Detta. Hope you have a good time in stream. And then yeah, so he became the warlock that he was. And then he was very excited, and Kashpa became an organization that almost worships the guy. Kine, he may be a god, but he's not an apostle, lame. What's a god to a non-believer? And he just punches him. In case you're wondering what the Abyss are, it's like this weird substance that started appearing in the Pandemonium. And if you shove it inside your body somewhere, then either you die or you become the most, like, you gain like crazy amount of like magic. You become like insanely powerful magician. It's basically what's an example? What's an anime example? It's basically Bankai, I guess. No, that's not the same, but like, yeah, you either die or you get Bankai. And to be fair, the chances of dying was very, very high. So, but the power it gave was insane. So a lot of weak Pandemonians would like, oh, shove that thing inside me, please. I want to be powerful, and then they just die usually. And apparently, depending on which body part you shove that in, you gain different amounts of power. And the part that gives you the most amount of power is basically your eyeballs. And Sarposa, having the Abyss shoved into his eyeballs, he became very, very powerful, you can imagine. And if you see the stuffs he can do in Pandemonium War, it's quite interesting. He does use elemental bomber skills, naturally, but in a very different fashion. And then some people back then were like, man, I wish my elemental bomber could do this. Man, poor people. Of course, now there's the Neo Awakening, so the player male mage is stronger than Sarposa, naturally. Also, the player male mage has the Abyss stuck in his heart. What part male mages have with Abyss? Wow, yeah, the coincidence. Man, am I psychic? Can I read Azela's mind? But it's in their heart. The male mage's backstory is he used to be a low-ranking member of the Kashpa, and he was hanging out with Moa, who was his guardian and also his good friend. But this cringe guy called Ricardo the Heart Destroyer killed the both of them, and going by his name of Heart Destroyer, you can imagine his heart got Thanos snapped. And then the male mage died, and then in his dreams, he saw the same thing that appeared before Sarposa, who gave him the Abyss and brought him back to life. And so the male mage doesn't have a heart, he just has an Abyss inside there. What else can I talk about? But yeah, this is basically the backstory of Sarposa and his shenanigans with the shenanigans in the Kashpa. As to what happens after this, I'll read it. Is there even a story for that? If there isn't, I'll tell you guys next time what happens after that. If you I mean, if you went through 95 story, you know. But yeah. Actually, you know what? Why don't I just tell it now? So after that, the what happens after this is the prey raid. The crimson flame that fell from the sky was Isis Prey's egg, and Sarposa saw that and it's like, oh, my time has come. And then, but unfortunately, he had to deal with the Isis Prey being cringe, because if you remember from last story, Isis Prey was like, okay, Tabers, people of Tabers, I'm gonna mind control all of you, and then we're gonna attack Pandemonium right now. And then he did that, and there were birds everywhere, and Sarposa had to help deal with that as well, willingly or not. So in the shadows, he was pulverizing some birds as well. And after that was over, the Kashpa basically called for this, what's known as the Pandemonium meeting, or as I like to call it, the Pandemonium Conclave, to talk about what the hell's gonna happen with the future of Pandemonium. Of course, spoilers alert, that was a trap. It's a trap! And Kashpa was trying to basically pull all the leaders to one place so they can attack their base headquarters and destroy all of them. So all the other forces of Pandemonium except Kashpa took major damage at that point. But one thing Kashpa didn't calculate properly is the adventurers were still there, and they were like watching them in their faces and like, hey, what are you guys doing? So they ran into Kashpa's base and destroyed everything. And in the process of that, Sarposa was like, I'm gonna be the god, I'm gonna kill all of you. And then he was kind of losing, but he was also winning, and he was about to kill the adventurers. And then Praeus swooped in and saved them, but that made Praeus kind of a cooked bird. And Sarposa was getting desperate, and he had this like abyss bombs prepared, and they blew off. And because they were too powerful, they caused this dimensional storms and whatnot. And Sarposa, Doghead, and what was her name? Pi? Pi got sent to Tabers, or seemingly. It's apparent that they are not dead. They'll probably appear again someday. I don't know when though. It would be cool if they appear sooner than later. To be honest, I never really liked early level 95 scenarios. Collisions of power were kind of cringe. We were literally god slayers and got reduced to some randoms. Not false, but I guess it had a lot of political elements to it. Which, to be fair, is fitting for the environment, because the Pandemonium consists of many different forces. It has 8 different sectors ruled by different apostles and different forces of Pandemonium, most of them mages. And so the political like clash and power clash and competition between those forces is an integral part of the Pandemonium story. So it makes sense what they try to do there. But it also got a little disorganized. Not to mention, I believe that was really the phase where Neopol was trying to take their DFO story a bit more seriously. Like before then, I feel like they were just doing whatever the hell they wanted with the DFO story. And it was about around 95 cap where they were like, okay, maybe we should take this a little bit more seriously. So they started, you know, putting more effort into making the story a bit more interesting and more spicy, let's just say. But in the process of that, they were not really good back then, so it got a bit messy and confusing. And I don't know if you guys remember, but when the story of Prey first came out, what happened was the main scenario didn't include the story of the raid, actually. It was like, oh, let's go fight Prey, and then flash forward. Okay, we defeated Isis Prey, and then like, what happened to the fights? What happened to everything in between? Who are all these figures that appeared in the raid? It didn't explain any of that in the story. And they had to later on retroactively add that into the scenario. And it was messy. It was very messy. Man, Sarposa sounds like that one dude who would RQ after getting 0-2 and then said, but it was close, I said, what a nerd. Rage quit. To be fair, he was... I mean, I wouldn't say he's like 100% rage quitter. Because when he fought against the adventurers, he was losing. And then he was like, I'm not gonna lose here. And then he used his level 3 super, which is like a, I don't know, dark spirit bomb or something like that. It's basically, I think it's an homage to Armageddon Strike, which is Elemental Bomber's 2A awakening skill. Except it's like red and dark and shit. And then, I don't know if that would have killed the adventurers, but it would have been very painful. And then a Prey swooped in and protected them, but he also got cooked in the process of that. And then Sarposa was like, the prophecy is not wrong. And okay, Sarpy, are you okay? And then the bombs went off, and then Dimensional Storms, Sarpy, Doggy, and Pi flying off to Tabers, I guess? And then they just exited the scene. And then Hilder, pretending like she's the nice guy, came in and was like, I'm gonna deal with this Dimensional Storm. You run away, adventurers, you need to leave, you need to live. And then the adventurers were like, okay, people running. And then look where we are now, the Dimensional Storms are still going everywhere. Hilder being sus as usual. My ass, you'll take care of it. That cheeky bastard. And yeah, and that was the last time that was like 2-3 years ago. You idiot, you can't do level 3, you're minus. You're never minus if you're just not a bitch. I was gonna say something. Yeah, so that was like, how many years ago was that? 3-4 years ago? And that was the last time we saw Narposa. I'm late. I'm sorry, Caspar. If you are really curious, the VOD will be there. But right now I'm just chatting with chat about the story and whatnot. But yeah, so Sarpy, Doggy, and Pi are all alive. We just don't know where they are. It'll be cool if they appear again, like, soon. I thought maybe they would appear in the 100 cap because we were going through like all the dimensional cracks and whatnot, but visibly not. The last news we got related to any amount with them was Niu, the chaser, the battle mage, she basically jumped into the dimensional storm because she went to look for Pi, and then she appeared at the end of the Ozma story, where if you guys remember, Nilvus basically held the door open so that everyone can get out of the falling dark side. And then he stayed behind, and he was like alone there sitting down. Okay, it's like, oh, I guess it's over. And then Niu appeared out of nowhere through a dimensional crack, and they were like, oh, what's up? And Niu was like, are you a half-breed? And Nilvus was like, no. Neopal really liked to do something like we slayed those powerful apostles, but we got ambushed by bandits on the road, and the last moment we were saved by something. They really liked that back then. To be fair, that was also because we were kind of weak. The apostles weren't strong enough to like 1v1 apostles back then. So Quandarius, good to see you. Sarposa was a potential apostle replacement considering how great his power actually was. Not apostle replacement, refined blade replacement. I mean, to be fair, he was never meant to be an apostle because he doesn't have a piece within him, but he was a potential refined blade candidate to be able to, let's just say, anti-apostle weapons. I don't know if Hilda like changed her plans in the middle and were like, oh, okay, you're supposed to be this refined blade, but you're being cringe, so I'm gonna get a new one. Or if she always meant for him to be a fake refined blade so the adventures can get stronger. We don't know. I would bet on the second case, but Hilda is sus. We have no idea what the hell she's thinking. But yeah, like basically the reason not Hilda, excuse me, Sarposa says the prophecy was not wrong after he takes down Prey was like, oh, I can kill apostles with my power. I am so strong. Bitch, Prey is like sick, buddy. He has like COVID. He's like dying. And then you like do a raw level 3, and then he comes in to like protect the adventures, and he takes counter damage. And you're like, oh, I can kill apostles, you arrogant bastard. Hilda is so sus. It can be anything, to be honest. True, exactly. We have no idea what the hell, bloody hell she's thinking. But yeah, I don't know if Sarposa was supposed to be a refined blade, but he failed. So Adventurer was a contingency plan, excuse me, I can't speak. Or she always planned not Kashpa, Sarposa to be just one of the pieces on the chessboard, so the adventurers can gain some experience. Hilda said before she has many blades getting ready, we are not the only ones, and Cassius confirmed that we can be thrown away any moment and get replaced. Yeah, she said that. But also, you know, like, Hilda is very sus, so we have no bloody idea what the hell she's thinking. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if her entire plan since forever was just to straight up get the adventures to a certain point, right? Because considering she's like, oh, I am Giga Brain, I'm playing 16D Omega Chess. She's like that. But like, yeah, there are more than one refined blades, because refined blades basically refer to not apostle beings that are strong enough to kill apostles, right? So Soldoros is a refined blade. Sarposa was a candidate. Adventures are definitely one. But you know, adventures were specifically planned by Hilda, and so was Sarposa. But we don't know if Sarposa failing to be a refined blade was part of Hilda's plans, or, you know, just a contingency. Also, Hilda's story can be summarized as follows. A woman simps so hard for the husbando that she's willing to destroy entire worlds just to get... I mean, so far, that's not entirely false. Notice me, senpai. No. I mean, to be fair though, because Hilda is so sus and she's like, oh, that was also my plan, that was also my plan, that was also my plan. It's like, what is this, Master Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts? So we don't exactly know. I mean, we don't know if like later down the line in some future story, Hilda's like, oh, that was also my plan. It's like, I don't know, that might happen again someday. Sooner or later. Though to be fair, right now Hilda is slowly noticing that things are getting out of hand of like her plans and whatnot. So maybe she'll stop being a dirty copium sniffer, saying like, oh, that was also my plan, that was also my plan, and whatnot. Oh man. Excuse me, I'm a... You know, speaking a lot does make me tired a bit. But we do know that Hilda's current objective is the death of the other apostles aside from Cain. Cain? Cain. Yes, that is true. That is indeed true. And then Bakal was like, bitch, it ain't a prophecy if you have to work to make it come true. And then Hilda was like, bitch, I do what I want. Cheeky bastard. We hear now pretty often that we put dent in their plans already. Yeah, we are like constantly getting hints and like scenes in the story where like, oh, Hilda's like she's like biting her nails, like shit, something's wrong. Like I need to fix this. Where's my wrench? I need to fix the cogwheels in this thing. But so far, Hilda is still confident that she can make things happen as she wants. And we are, we are still waiting for the day that she just breaks down from all the plans failing. Cheeky bastard. Oh, what was that? Let's see, what time is it? 1:45. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I guess I'll chat with you guys a little bit longer and close up shop for today. Is there anyone else streaming DFO today? I mean, it's a Monday, so I recognize that people are quite dead. There's nobody. Oh well, it's fine, I guess. I think Amir streamed earlier today, and she closed up shop before I was done. Not done, before I started. Even if that is the case, it feels like the story is like a parade of events in Hilda's eyes, which is what allows her to make moves so many steps ahead of the rest. Yeah, true. She's just like, I'm playing 16D hyper chess. I am 16 moves ahead of you in 5 different directions. So I got an opinion on something? Go on. What is it, Teal? Mondays feel like Sundays in DFO? I mean, is it not though? It's the last day of the week for DFO. It's if you live in Arad, it's technically Sunday. And like there's like nothing to do. It's a rest day, right? There's no raids. There's nothing to do. People are out of things to do. You just, if you play DFO at all, you just come on to dailies and then you're done. It's a rest day. So I understand when people are kind of dead today. I'm surprised like there are 60 people watching my stream right now though. Incredible. You guys are chads? You guys are cracked? Like, I'm like, why am I getting up so early? It's Sunday. Oh wait, the world is not Arad. What are the Bakal days in Korea? Good question. I actually don't know. Oh shit, it's Monday, I got work. Because I don't actually keep track of like raid days for KDNF because I don't want to confuse my brain. Because a reset day in KDNF is Thursday, while our reset day is Tuesday, so trying to keep up with that is very confusing. Let me see if it says here. But if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be the same as who's it? Warpath or Total War. It should be the same. Which I don't know what days it is. When is it? KDNF. I think it's a good idea to watch them to get ready. Yeah, definitely. If you haven't, I suggest you like find some. Hold on. Where is it? Does it not say? I don't see it. Maybe I'm blind. Maybe I'm just illiterate, and I'm not reading it. But I don't see it. But yeah, it's supposed to be same as Warpath days. I know it's open on Wednesday. I know that for sure because there are some people who do Wednesday Bakal raids and it's like a pile of mess because it's the day before reset and you can expect it to be like messy as hell. But yeah, it's a good idea to like find some KDNF streamer and watch them play Bakal to get an idea. I think it's good. Can't wait for week 1 of Bakal raid. Fuck, I gotta go to work! Oh man, if that's real, good luck, Quan. If that was a joke, then you know, Mondays. Every party be like, Dej. You gotta stay alive? It's like, you go into Bakal, and then Bakal's like, look, I get a load of these guys, and it just smacks you in the face and you die, and then the gauge, I kid, okay, good. I'm glad. Okay. Sometimes I look at jokes, I'm like, I'm worried if that's actually real. I hope you're not late for work, but if you're not late for work, then whatever. No, it's fine. It's a Sunday, right? What do you mean it's a Monday? What do you want? It's a Monday in Arad, but we're on Earth. Oh shit! That happens. I was gonna say something, but yeah, Bakal raid is the first week's gonna be messy, but I'm also excited. It's gonna be fun. I look forward to running it with my static group and modding over it. Hey Bakal, you're cringe. I know you are, but what am I? Party wipe. Healers down! Out of mana! Ah! It's gonna be difficult, but it's gonna be fun. Because one of the gimmicks or shibishbaz shtick of the Bakal raid is that you need to keep Bakal entertained. A party needs to like constantly be in there and like keep fighting him, because otherwise he'll get bored and boom your raid faster. And you need to like do that, otherwise yeah, you're in trouble. You need to keep him entertained. A party needs to constantly face him, otherwise Bakal's like, I'm bored, you guys are cringe, time to blow this shit up, and then the raid goes boom. So you need to like constantly have a party in there and keep them alive, and that's gonna be funny in the first week, I'd say. Oh man, I can't wait for the meatballs. Wait, he does? Yeah, so Bakal raid does not have a time limit, but there's a gauge, like a percent gauge at the top right corner of the UI, and that gauge fills up for every dragon, every 3 great dragon that's awake. And if Bakal's not being entertained, it goes up like 5 times faster, I think. The worst part, I think you need communication over Bakal, and it never was in DFOG. Yes, because, you know, there are a lot of things that you can take, like communicate between parties. For example, you need like, for example, if the party inside is about to get wiped, another party need to like get ready to like take turn, like to tag. Or when their time limit is about to run out, then you need to tag. If the inner party needs to retreat, you need to tag. So the party that's entertaining Bakal needs to keep the other parties informed. And good luck doing that in real time without a voice chat. That's scarier than a time limit. Yeah, like if you don't keep this man entertained, he will like burn you into a crisp. What a Chad. An absolute Giga Chad. Yeah. That man's it's gonna be fun. Also, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's this, what I like to call, the meatball gimmick in Bakal. What it does is periodic. So Bakal's room is not just one, but there's like 9 rooms in total. Like Numak or Nizer. And he would periodically target 2 players. And what happens is meteors would fall on them. And when the meteor lands, the entire room gets set on fire, and the fire does a ton of damage. And if 2 meteors hit a room, everyone in the room just dies instantly. So if you forget that you're targeted by the meatball and just drop it in the middle room, good luck with the party for staying alive. He can target stun someone in Bakal fight, and some other players need to find you and break free. Yeah, that's in phase 2. In phase 2, that pattern is basically, he command grabs one party member, he flies to a different room, and you have to chase him down and beat him down to free the guy, or he kills the guy. Sorry guys, I put fire in the middle. Bakar be like, you better defeat me before I get bored. That's what it is actually. Command grabs, leaves, you chase him down and you beat him down until he lets go. Imagine like seeing that. That's actually terrifying. And if you have meteors, you better not go to the room where he is, or you'll kill everyone. So like if you see yourself targeted, you have to go outside and go to a corner and then drop it and then come back in. So like if you don't pay attention, you die. If you don't pay attention, everyone dies. Also, he has this patterns where he basically 1v1s you. I'm not even kidding. He basically, you can like, he picks, well not picks a target, you basically pick a party member, he starts 1v1ing you, and everyone else needs to do like this weird ass gimmick outside. Also, there's this pattern where you need to find symbols in some order, even Koreans. Oh, that thing is stupid. That thing is stupid. Bro commands grabs party member, refuses to elaborate, leaves. That's what it does. But in phase 2, there's this gimmick which is stupid. What it does is, it puts a symbol in each of the rooms, and every player gets a random symbol, and the symbols will appear in random order on screen. And you have to, the corresponding player need to hit the symbols in order. So it's like wing, claw, like fangs, body, etc, etc. If you have wings, you go to find the wings, you hit the wings, and the next player finds the next symbol, hits it, rinse and repeat until you hit all 9 symbols. If you don't, you die. Insta-kill. Oh man, that's gonna be... Good luck doing that without communication. Even with communication, it kills everyone. Of course, the thing about Bakal is that if you succeed with his patterns, then he starts taking a lot of damage. So he burst, like, it's kind of a burst meta, because he usually doesn't take a lot of damage. But if you succeed with the patterns and get the burst window, then you can do a lot of damage. So it's also important to manage a cube cooldown so you can have enough skills to burst. Yes. What, burst meta? Yes, technically it's a burst meta. Unless you are so fucking fat that you just like steamroll over everything, which I don't know, you have to like 49k fame. It's technically burst meta. You do some patterns, open the burst window, and beat them down, rinse and repeat. Bro, I was made for burst meta, let's go. Congrats. Congrats on being the burst meta king. But yeah, I suggest you guys to just, if you're bored, look for some cadence of players playing Bakal and see how it goes. There's only one phase, there's no 2 phases. I mean, Bakal has 2 phases, but the raid itself is just single phase. And technically, what you have to do is easy. You kill 3 dragons and kill Bakal, that's about it. But the hoops and loops that you have to go through and the loop-de-loops are quite complicated. Going from sustain to burst to sustain to controlled chaos meta was so damn tiring to keep up with. Yeah. It's a good... unless you're Necro, good luck with to people who went for the basic skills build. It's not gonna be fun. Okay, so I am quite exhausted and I need to use the bathroom. I feel like my bladder is going to burst because I drank too much water. Hold on. I made Weapon Master. Oof. Yeah, that's a little... Ugh. But yeah, but it is what it is indeed. Anyhow, I need to close up shop now. Thank you to everyone who showed up today and everyone who gave me follows. You guys are the best. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. I'll be back on Wednesday with more regularly scheduled DFO stream. Side note, this week's gonna be the last week of drops. For me, at least. There's also the next Monday, but I'm not... I think I won't stream next Monday. I'll update you guys on that. But this week is the last week to get drops, so please do get them if you haven't. Hold on, let me check one last time if there's anyone else that's streaming. Nope, unfortunately not. I'll have to just close up shop today. But yeah, thank you again, guys. Take care. It's hope you guys have a safe Monday / Tuesday if you guys on the Asian side of the world, and good luck with the rest of the week. Stay cozy, and halfmango out. See you guys next time.